Hi. I'm going to talk a little bit today about approval seeking behavior. Sometimes we end up in situations where we're fed a sob story about someone else's previous relationship. While there may be aspects of that story that are true, it's certainly possible that what we're being told is a manipulation for the most part to gain our sympathy and to have us be more inclined to do things for a person on the basis of what they have told us about their previous relationship history. It is certainly an accurate statement to say that there are people in relationships that behave badly and harm other people. And it's certainly not always being exacerbated by one of the parties. One of the parties might be trying to mitigate it. However, I think that it's important to not assume that you know the truth of that person's previous relationship unless and until you have the opportunity to speak to both people that were involved in that situation. The problem with perception is that if you're only hearing one side of that narrative, you're not ever going to have the full narrative available for you to determine what more than likely is the most accurate understanding of the true scenario of that narrative. So you have to be very cautious when you just blindly trust in somebody that you're considering becoming a partner with, because oftentimes, not all the time, but a lot of the time, the narrative that they're putting forward about that previous partner, it can often be an indicator of what you can anticipate further down the road in the way that they will refer to you. Because old habits die hard, and because humans are pattern repeating people, we have a tendency to continue doing the same thing over and over again because we're acclimated to do that. It doesn't make it a logical thing to do, but it's just what we're acclimated to do. So when you hear from a potential partner how crazy his ex was and how she was this and she was that, or it could be the other way around. Maybe you're hearing how crazy he was, or how he was this, or how he was that. It's possible that what they're telling you is the truth, but it's also possible that they're telling you that in an effort to get you to let down your guard so that they can perpetrate a scam on you. Don't trust blindly. You can listen, but you need to listen and verify. Especially if you're considering a serious commitment with someone. Just like a business partnership where you would vet someone before collaborating with them in a business venture, you really seriously need to consider all potential relationship decisions in the same way. Because opening yourself up to someone is a risky thing to do. And in many cases, both men and women go into relationships way too casually and end up severely hurt in the process. We have a tendency when we're younger to see ourselves as invincible and impenetrable in relationships, and we think we can withstand all sorts of things that we're physically not designed to withstand. And then we end up traumatized, and we end up repeating that cycle of trauma again and again and again. We don't necessarily do that intentionally. It could just be that we know no other way, or we haven't been able to figure out a healthier way. So the people that have harmed us end up impacting us to such an extent that we don't know how to be safe in the future with other people. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of self-healing to get to a place where you can be with a new partner and not harm them as a result of previous trauma that you've endured. Be very, very careful when you get into future relationships that you don't project onto your new partner or your new potential partner the issues that are unresolved from your previous partnership. That's completely unfair to a new potential partner who may have nothing but the best intentions for you. But because you're still feeling like you're living in the seventh circle of hell, you don't know how to acknowledge that their intentions may be genuine. I'm not necessarily saying that you should give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You just need to do your due diligence, and that's why it's important not to rush into things. Take your time, get to know someone, see if their words and their actions are in alignment. And if they're not, then you have your answer. If words and actions don't match, that person is not an honest individual. It can be painful to come to that realization with someone, but it's certainly much better to do that early on in a potential relationship than it is to wait until 5 or 10 years down the road when you feel like it's not an easy situation to get out of safely. God bless.